I got that California.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 6 battle for the ICBA. Today we're facing off against Root and the New Jersey Brobats. And before you guys go crazy, no, that is not me on the screen. This is not a video where I'm doing my first face reveal. That is Root. He was kind enough to let us use his side of the battle because on the very last turn of the game, we disconnected. And it was, honestly, the game was so close, and it's really unfortunate we didn't get to see how it would have ended. We did make a decision on who won and lost though, but you guys will also be able to kind of see that, but it was so close. It basically came down to whatever someone's item was. So yeah, it's just that close. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this matchup because it is a hell of a game. But before we do, guys, make sure to answer the common question of the day, which is, besides your hometown, which is your favorite city in the world? For me, I live in Montreal, but I absolutely love Fort Lauderdale. I think Fort Lauderdale is tons of fun. There's not very much to do, but I love the fact that I can just relax. So Fort Lauderdale is amazing. Obviously, Orlando is great too. I have tons of amazing memories with Julia there, but I love Fort Lauderdale as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So, Week 6 against the New Jersey Brobats. They have a team of Tapu Lele Bazimus, Thunderous Eye, Infernape Bazimus, Ferrothorn, Mamoswine, Umbreon, Swampert, Alomomola, Druddigon, Rotom, and Togetic. Very scary team. No Mega, which is cool. He doesn't have to draft the Mega. He's got the Thunderous Eye, Infernape, and the Mamoswine, which have all spent time on the top 10 list for kills this season, which is crazy to think about. The Lele hasn't been as crazy, which is surprising because it is an Uber and it's really strong. But I don't know, he's got a decent amount of priority on his team, and he also has Psychic Terrain, like Thunderous Eye's Prankster gets nerfed in that, Infernape's Vacuum Wave and Mach Punch get nerfed in that, Mamoswine's Ice Shard, of course, so kind of surprising, but not the end of the world, obviously. He's got a really good record, sitting at, I think he is 4-1, just like we are. I think we're both 4-1, right? Yeah, I think we're both 4-1. So yeah, this is a pretty big game because the loser of this game will be then clumped into the standings where everyone else is. There's a lot of teams with 2 losses at this point, and there's only one team, or 2 teams rather, with 1 loss, which is the 2 of us. And whichever one of us wins this game is going to be sitting alone with 1 loss and sitting alone in 2nd place in the league. So we'll go ahead and get into it. My team is Protein Greninja with Zemus, the kill leader. I believe it is 12 kills, 1 death right now, which is bonkers. But I'm bringing a very interesting Protein Greninja set this week. We have Mega Gallade, Zapdos, Salamence, Zemus, Sylveon, Donphan, Salazzle, Lycanroc Day, Mismagius, Klinklang, and Lantern. Now guys, before I do get started with the actual team, can you do me a favor, go down in the description, check out Root, his link is down there, click on his video, his side of the video, and just leave him a like, and just say thank you, because without him we wouldn't have this replay for you guys today, and I really didn't want to not have a video up, so huge thank you to him for live comedy and having this replay for us to use, so thank you, man. Anyways, let's get into the team we brought, and I bring a very interesting team at that, and it's not the greatest idea. I don't know what's happening, but this is the 3rd really close game where we had the 1-0 win against, who was it? Against CJ, which was on the back of Greninja, basically just doing flinchy, hacksy things, and then we had the 1-0 loss to Dawn last week. So I'm hoping we could do a bit better, but it is a very close game, and that could have been kind of changed if my Greninja was actually a normal Greninja, because I'm running Low Kick, Toxic Spikes, U-Turn, and Taunt with the Fightinium Z. Fightinium Z Low Kick will always OHKO a max HP no defense Umbreon, which is amazing, unless it's got a Chople Berry, obviously. It does tons of damage to the Ferrothorn. It does a decent chunk of damage to the Alomomola, to the Swampert, a Mamoswine. Regular Low Kick will just obliterate because it's so heavy. But yeah, I mean, it's good there. He's got no grounded poison, so Toxic Spikes is really nice, especially when it's paired with my Salazzle, which you'll see later. But honestly, it's a good pairing, but it probably wasn't the right bring. Something like Dark Pulse would have been a lot better. Something like Surf might have been better. So there's hindsight's always 20/20, but in my opinion, this was a good set to bring for in the moment. But I think having Dark Pulse on it over Toxic Spikes or probably Toxic Spikes would have been a bit better for me. Moving on though, our Mega Gallade, we have speed here for the Infernape, creeping the Zapdos because not creeping the Zapdos, we have speed for Infernape, creeping the Mismagius. I could go more, but I felt like I needed to have a little bit extra attack to do a bit more damage, and we have enough HP and Spadef, so we're never OHKO'd by a Timid Moonblast from a Tapu Lele from full. We could drop to a modest one, we do drop if he's Pixie Plates or if he's Extra Belt or whatever, but we'll outspeed him and we can bop him with a +1 Poison Jab, because we are Poison Jab, Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, and Zen Headbutt. And I was debating, I think it was a Granbell that was trying to convince me. He said put sub on over poison jab and just run Zen headbutt, because at +2, Zen headbutt in terrain will beat down the Lele, and you can get to +2 pretty easily. I didn't think I can get to +2 pretty easily. I thought I can get to +1 very easily, so I decided to just go with poison jab instead. And we'll see if it's worth it or not. Our next mod is going to be our Salazzle here. We have speed for Thunderous Eye, and this set beats all the stall he has, and it beats a lot of the offense too. I was debating between 5 moves here and potentially, honestly 6. And honestly, I think I made a mistake with the 4 moves I chose. I chose Sub, Disable, Toxic, and Protect. The reason I chose this set is because it can Toxic everything on his team, and we can just Sub Protect through everything. And if we're wearing Toxic spikes and we get up the Toxic on everything, we get the 2 layers of spikes up, then we're golden, because we won't have to click Toxic with our Salazzle ever unless it's on the Ferrothorn. And even then, we have Sub, Protect, Disable to beat things down. The only thing that this can be a problem for is the Alomomola, which I did not see coming at all, but he did end up bringing it, so damn. But it's okay, it's still really good. I was debating potentially Taunt over Protect, and maybe Sludge Wave as well over the Protect too, but I felt like having Protect would be very good to potentially scout if he might be a Scarf set, or I can gain back some Leftovers recovery. I can go for Protect and then Disable on something if I don't have a sub up, so it could be very useful given the situation that we're in. Next up though, we have Ghost, our Lycanroc Day. We have a Life Orb set on this mod this week. We have Stealth Rocks, Fire Fang, Stone Edge, and a Cell Rock. We are max speed, so we can outspeed the Thunderous Eye. I can bop it with a Stone Edge, because an Accel Rock will not guarantee an Oko, because we aren't. I don't think he's going to be able to take chip damage. If he's Life Orb and we were Adamant and we had a Life Orb, obviously Accel Rock would be able to pick up the KO, but I don't trust that we'd be able to do that, so I decided to run max speed this week. And then finally, we have Burra, our Choice Scarf Salamence. We have enough speed for, I believe it was Lele. We have Earthquake, Dragonclaw, Fire Fang. I'm running Tailwind this week. Probably not the best spring. I probably should have run Defog or something, or I don't know, maybe Toxic, or I don't know, just something else on this set. But it's still really good. And I decided to run Choice Scarf because I want to outspeed the Lele guaranteed, because I thought he might be Scarfed. And just in case he was Scarfed and he did bop my, and he did destroy my, what's it called, my Mega Gallade, then I can have this Choice Scarf thing in the back to just revenge it. But I did want to bring a Yachi Berry just in case he wasn't a Scarf Mamoswine. We can guarantee live a hit after rocks from a non-adamant, non-boosting Mamoswine, which would have been nice to have, because Mamoswine just runs through my entire roster. Like, I'll go over it now. My roster, so Greninja isn't taking any hits. Mega Gallade isn't going to take very much. It'll take 1 hit and then be able to Drain Punch back, but he's not going to bring this in on my Mega Gallade. Zapdos, destroyed by Ice. Salamence, Ice. Sylveon, not taking Earthquake. Donphan, Ice. Salazzle, Earthquake. Lycanroc, Earthquakes, Mismagius, Knockoff, or even Ice. Klinklang, Earthquake. Lantern, Earthquake. Mamoswine just destroys my team, so it's a very scary mod to deal with. But that's our team, and we'll go ahead and get into the battle. I've been talking for 8 minutes now, which is kind of a long time to talk about a team builder for, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So thank you to Root. I'm going to speed up the battle just a bit, because it is going to be a very long, 1.75 should be fine. It's going to be a very long game, because it is going to be obviously live comm. I think the game was, the replay I have is 33 minutes, so hopefully we can speed it up, and I'm actually just going to zoom in, speed up a little bit more. So there we go. We're going to start off, and I'm going to lower this because I have it in my ear. So I'm going to lead off here. I believe I lead off with my Greninja, right? Yeah, I lead off with my Greninja here. I want to get up a Toxic Spike, but depending on what he leads with, which is going to be his Nimbus, I'm just going to U-turn out here, and I go for the U-turn here, kind of predicting him to not be Scarfed. I'm just going to say he's not going to be Scarfed. He's going to fear the Ice Beam, because if I go for Ice Beam here, it's just going to destroy this thing, and he can't risk that because this thing is really good against my team. He can't go for a Prankster Thunder Wave because I'm still a Dark type, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn here and get on out of there. So he's going to probably just, I'm thinking he's just going to go for an attack or go for a Volt Switch if he ends up being Scarfed. If he's not, I think he's going to switch out, and that's kind of my thought process here. So he is actually going to keep waiting, and oh my god, I remember why I can't live comm. Like, I'm not going to be great at this, but I go for the U-turn here. I turn into the Bug type, and this is really unfortunate we take this damage because it does play a role, the Iron Barbs. But we do a decent chunk of damage to him. We do like around 25%, so he probably knows that I'm an offensive Greninja, physically offensive Greninja based on that damage, but still it's good damage because this thing is super scary, and I can bring out Sizzlin now, and this was a misplay. I should have gone into my Gallade. I should have gone to my Gallade because if I had the sub, I should have gone to my Gallade because it wouldn't be able to break my sub unless it was a Gyro Ball, but he would want to switch out anyways, and I can sub up, go for bulk up, and she's trying to like really break things there. But instead, I go into this thing and I go ahead and I think I click the Toxic, right? Yeah, so I click the Toxic here, and we do manage to connect on the Swampert, which is great because this thing is such a big problem to my team. He is gonna go for rocks here. It's pretty free. I can't really say, like if I went for the sub there and I had the taunt, then I would have probably subbed and then taunted. Because I want to make sure rocks weren't up, and I could have disabled whatever he went for if he went for an attacking move, then Toxic'd it, but it's not the end of the world. We do have an opportunity, and at this point here, Salazzle's going to be on the field for a long time, and I do want to speed up a little bit more because it is going to be here for a very, very long time. So I'm running, again, like I said, the sub, disable, toxic, and protect set, and my whole point is I'm going to wear down his team, and really unfortunate for me that I'm not running taunts because he can just go into his Loma and wish back up, so I kind of have to hope he's not running wish. So really big mistake to not run the taunt here, because obviously the Mola would have been kind of just, it couldn't really do much to me. I have to go for Scald to break my sub, I can then disable it, it couldn't go for Wish, and it basically would be the best case scenario for me, but I just didn't bring the right set, and even if I had brought Sludge Wave over Protect, I think it would have been a good spot. So yeah, having disabled there was nice. Unfortunately, Scald or Earthquake will break my sub. I don't know if he has both, but he's basically just going to try and wear me down. At this point, he's at basically 50%, or closer to 60% actually, and we can just kind of stall him out. He's disabled for another 3 turns, which is very nice, and hopefully we can continue on this this streak of just wearing down his team. So but he's going to switch out now. He's going to go into Aloe, which is obviously his Loba Mola, and he does out my Protect as I get back to, I think I was at like 162 out of 165 HP, so I wasn't back at full, but I was close to it. I'm going to go for the Toxic here, as he can just go for a free Wish, which really does suck. But I think I try to do, yeah, I go for the Toxic here, and very unfortunate, really is. But he is going to be able to just fire off, I think, a Scald here, right? Yeah, so he's going to break my sub, and he can then just really go for a Wish whenever he needs to. But I'm going to go for another substitute, and I don't think, no, I revealed my last move to him, so he can just go into whatever he needs to. He can go into his Lele after and just kind of nuke me if he ends up being Scarfed and I don't have a sub up. So he goes into his Lele here, which is very scary. It is shiny. I don't think shiny matters anymore. I think there was a distribution for it to be any nature it wants to be now, which is good to know. But he goes for this. I go for the sub here, and I can now figure out if he's Scarfed if he attacks me. But he just switches out, so I can't figure out exactly if he is Scarfed. And he goes back into his Alamola as I go for the Toxic. So he gets damage off me on the sub, and I end up poisoning him. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, I want to bring my Salamence now because there's the Psychic Terrain. I want to try and get that in as soon as possible. I want to get that in with Terrain up because the Mammoth won't be able to go for the Ice Skull, or the Ice Shard rather. So that's kind of my play in the long run, but he's going to basically, I think, Wish up here, as I can just go for a Disable, and I've disabled the Scald here, so he can't break my sub, but you're going to see he just go for the Wish, and yeah, I really wish I was running the Taunt now. It'd been great for me to run the Taunt, but it is what it is, and this thing's getting worn down. Obviously, Taunt would have been such a good bring here. I'm really kicking myself for it, but again, Sludge Wave would have been just as good because we could have really worn down this and the Swampert. Could have just subbed up on the Swampert, disabled the Earthquake. It just basically I could have been in such a good spot if I had brought either an attacking move or the taunt, and I didn't do that. It was a mistake on my part. I'm just gonna keep harping on it because it does play a really, really big role in this game. So I go with the Toxic here as I expect him to go out into something like the Lele or even the Ferrothorn or whatever. But no, he goes into his Swampert here as that's already Toxic. He gets back some HP, and I should now I know. That I was thinking to myself, now I know that he is going to be bringing this in, trying to heal it up, and just trying to break my sub with the Swampert, and then wish up with his what is it called? Wish up with his, trying to think of the name of it, with his Alomomola. So I'm going to try and make a play into something else on my team, something else on my roster, something like maybe the Sylveon, maybe the Greninja. He might think I have the Grass Knots or whatever it may be, and I think it's a really good idea for me to just kind of like wear down his team and try to force switches that I can expect and then switch out into something else, which would be kind of my play here. So I'm really hoping that we can do that with our Mons here. So at this point here, he is disabled. We're just Protect stalling, like being a general asshole, and at this point he was saying like this game could go to timer, and honestly if I wanted to, I can make this game go to timer and I would win, because there's no way that he could break my sub effectively, but I'm not in the business of like playing an hour game if I don't have to, because especially if we DC in a 33-minute long game, then imagine what it would be like if we tried playing for an hour. I don't want to have to like just redo the entire game and have it basically not matter. And basically he can't break this set if there was infinite amount of PP, because he just couldn't break the set. It just would not happen. But I'm going to try and like actually progress the game forward a bit, and that may be a mistake depending on the outcome of the game, but if I really wanted to, I could just stall this game out and it would end 6-6 with me winning the game, because he's Toxic. I have no damage on anything except for my Greninja, which is taking a tiny little bit. He's Toxic on 2 of his Mons. They're pretty low as well, or one's kind of low at least, and we can just win the game from there. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So he's going to get his Wish back, and I went for the Disable there, I think, and I disabled his Wish, so he can't Wish up anymore, which is very nice. I go for the Protect here, as I think he is going to go for the Scald again, and we're just going to gain back a little bit of HP, force him to lose some more health from the Toxic, and I believe here I was thinking, should I switch out into something to take the hits from the from the Mola. And thankfully I did not do that because he went for the Scald here. I didn't expect him to go for that. I thought he was going to switch out into the Swampert to try and get some regenerator health back, but he doesn't do that, and this thing is getting pretty low, which is nice. And at this point, he has to switch out. He has to. There's no reason for him to stay in, and I make the dumb decision, and I think I stay in myself. I'm pretty sure, at least. It's kind of all whacked up because it's a live comp. It just feels a little bit weird. So he goes into a Swampert, yeah, and I go for the sub here. I should have gone into my Gallade because look at how much health he has. He's nowhere near, he's kind of near full, but still, I go into my Gallade, I click bulk up, and I'm golden there. Or I go into my Greninja, force him out with the feared Grass Knot, but I go into my Gallade here as I expect him to double back out into his Alomomola, trying to get back some regenerator, and that's exactly what happens. So thankfully we get that double right. And again, right here, here's where I wish I had the substitute. Because if I go for sub here, he can't break my sub with a Scald. He'd have to go for like a liquidation, and even then I don't think he would be able to do it. And if I go for a bulk up, then we're good. He's probably gonna go for a wish maybe, or a Scald or whatever it is, trying to get a burn, but I go for the bulk up here because it's gonna be my best play to kind of just wear down everything else on his team. I can then beat the Tapu Lele with one hit, 100%. We are potentially in range of the hit from the, what is it called? From the Lele, because we did take rocks, but it's not guaranteed, and if he is timid nature and he's not a boosting item, if he's on a Scarf rather, then we will outspeed him in Oakhome anyways, unless he's Kebe Berry, which is the poison reduction berry. So at this point here, I think I click, I can click bulk up here. Do I click bulk up or do I click Drain Punch, or what do I do? I click bulk up, so I'm at +1 now, and it was a damn shame that I didn't like go for a sub here because he went for the Toxic. If I had the sub, that would have been such a perfect turn. He wouldn't be able to Toxic me, he wouldn't be able to Scald break my sub. It's just really big decision that I didn't listen to my front office. So Granbell was right, I should have brought the sub here, so I'm sorry, man. Not listening to you kind of really cost me here. So we're on turn 23 now, pretty late into the game. It's 15 minutes in, which is kind of crazy, and I can now go for the Drain Punch, I believe, as he's just going to switch out, and he sacks off his Ferrothorn here. If it'll die unless it's Chople Berry rather, but it isn't, so it just drops. We're going to get it back to full, and we're going to take some Iron Barbs, and we're going to take a bit of poison here. So yeah, and we are now officially 100% in range of the Moonblast from the Salazzle. Not Salazzle, from the Tapu Lele. But because we have our Salazzle in the back, he can't freely go for the Moonblast, because if I go into my Salazzle, obviously, he's going to be stuck. But I don't think there was ever a reason for him not to go into his Lele and click Moonblast here because of the Salazzle being so low and because he has rocks up. So it basically would almost 2 a KO, if not 2 a KO. So it's kind of a weird play if he doesn't go into his Lele and click Moonblast. But at this point, I don't really have a switch in except for my Salazzle. I still find it useful in the game, so I'm just going to go for the Poison Jab here, try and get rid of this thing as quickly as I can because I think he's bluffing that it's Scarfed. I don't think he's really Scarfed. So I'm going to go for the Poison Jab here as he just takes a while to think about his move. If he is Scarfed, then good play. He might KO me with the Moonblast. He won't KO me with the Psychic. It actually never KOs. It will kill me after the Poison. He does go for the Psychic here, and we live the hit. We go for Poison Jab. Does this pick up the KO? Yes, it does, and we end up picking up the KO on this thing. We did crit him, I think it was there. I might have missed that, but it doesn't matter. We would have KO'd him 100% of the time anyways, and we lose our Mega Gallade, which does suck because it would have taken a hit from the Salamence, which would have been great, but because it was poisoned, it really wasn't worth it keeping it around too much. But we now lose our first Mon. He's at 4 Mons left. 2 of them are Toxic. I go into Bubbles here, and he's going to go into Thunderous. And this is kind of where I'm regretting. Oh, did I even go over my Sylveon? I only have one over my Sylveon in Team Preview. Oh, well, Sylveon is Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Fire, and Wish. And if I was Protect over Calm Mind, I think this game would have been over right here. But you're going to see why it's not. So I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice here. It will 2 KO this thing, pretty much guaranteed, which is nice because this thing has a pretty big threat. The electric moves are very strong against my team. I didn't bring a ground type, so I want to get rid of this thing quickly. I also want to get rid of it for Prankster T-Wave reasons. But he ends up being Life Orb, which means that he could 2 KO me if I wasn't leftovers. We are now out of range 100% of the time, and if I had the Protect here, I would have just Wish Protected my way up back to full. He couldn't be able to do anything, no matter what he sends in. If he sends in the Mamoswine, okay, cool. I go into something else, I sack it off, I bring in my Lycanroc, and I just click Stone Edge, and I just do tons of damage to it. But because I wasn't Wish Protect, I have to kill this thing right now. If I was Wish Protect, I would have clicked Wish, then Protect, and just gone back up to full, and I would have been good to go. But very, very unfortunate that I didn't have Protect on the set. I was Calm Mind instead. So I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice here. He is in range 100%. I'm hoping he just switches out and decides I need to keep this thing alive, that maybe I go for a Wish here because I'm not in range of the attack, and he switches out and takes advantage of that. Or maybe goes for the Nasty Plot or something, expecting the Wish or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice here, hoping that he does one of those things. I don't think he will, honestly, but who knows? You really don't know if he does that or not. But I'm taking a while to make my move. At this point, I'm just calcing because I didn't know at that point in time if I would actually like take the hit. And I'm sorry if it's going so fast, the battle. I really don't have a choice, honestly. But I go with the Hyper Voice here, and we pick up the KO here. So Sylveon gets his first KO of the match. We got some help back from leftovers. It's not going to matter because we are in range of the Mamoswine. The Mamoswine will outspeed us as well, and it can just bop up, and in comes the Mamoswine. The threat is in. The threat that beats the rest of my 5 Mons is in. I'm kind of hoping he goes for the Icicle Crash and he misses, or he derps and goes for the Ice Shard here. So I'm just going to go for the Hyper Voice and hope that he stays in and misses an attack. But we're going to see here, I believe he goes for the Icicle Crash, and yeah, he ends up hitting it. So we lose our Sylveon. Yeah, I didn't really have an option there. I had to sack. Nothing else my team was going to take the hit. Maybe this Salazzle, but I still felt it was really useful to beat down his team, especially the Mamoswine and the other 2 Mons, his Wall Core. But looking back on it, I don't think Salazzle was as important as I'm making it out to be, which is kind of unfortunate. Like, it doesn't beat the Alomomola if it has the ability to switch out and just regenerate her up and wish up and stuff. So yeah, but I go into my Greninja here and I click the Z move. I should have clicked the U-turn here. There's no way he's staying in. If he's Scarf, he's not KOing me with the Icicle Crash. If he's not Scarf, he's switching out because he can't take the hit. But I go for the Z move here, and this depending on its set, this could be a mistake because we could just put this thing in range of a U-turn after 2 hits of Toxic right now. And if we do, that'd be incredible. But you're gonna see here, he's on 98 like HP, 82 now, and I don't KO with the U-turn here. I don't KO with the low kick. U-turn does actually a little bit more to him. I go for the U-turn here, I think, as he switches out into his oh no, I go for the taunt actually to stop the wish. Yeah, that's my bad. But I go for the taunt here, and had I gone for the U-turn again, it would have been a great spot. Had I gone for the low kick again, it would have been a great spot. Had I gone for Toxic Spikes, would have been an awesome spot too. Or not an awesome spot, but like at least a decent spot. But yeah, this is where I'm like, I wish I had the what is it called? The Dark Pulse. If I had Dark Pulse, I would have clicked Dark Pulse there 100%. Like, there's no reason for me not to. It would have KO'd everything except for the Mamoswine, and the Mamoswine would have to be Scarfed to outspeed me, and low kick would beat that. But I was damn Toxic Spikes. So I'm very, very disappointed. I go for the U-turn here, and I believe I go into my, what do I go into? I think I go into my Lycanroc here, or my Salazzle. I think, yeah, I went for my Salazzle here. I went to my Salazzle because I didn't think he was going to go for the Earth. I thought he was going to go for, not the Earthquake. If I knew he was going to go for the Earthquake, I would have gone right to my Salamence, and I would have just gone for an attacking move and picked up a KO, and picked up potentially 2 if he didn't have the Ice Shard on his Mamoswine. So, it really sucks that I didn't get that play right. I wish I'd gone to my Salamence here, but it's no big deal. I go into it now, and I can just click Dragon Claw, and we can guarantee pick up a KO on the Swampert, or we can do tons of damage to the Alomomola, basically put it in range of a second Dragon Claw. But there's no reason for him not to sack off his Swampert, because he can just go into his Mamoswine and pick up a KO with that pretty much every time he comes in. So I go into Burrow the Salamence here. I'm going to click the Dragon Claw. I really, really wish I was the Yachi Berry. It would have been freaking amazing at this point because I'll outspeed everything. I don't think he's Scarf Mamoswine. And if he goes to the Ice Shard, then we're going to outspeed it. Or we're going to be able to live the hit, rather. So, damn. Like, I'm so disappointed that I'm not Yachi this week. There was a lot of just decisions in prep that I just did not make well. But besides all that, we still have the lead in Pokemon, and we still have a really good shot to win this game despite the Mamoswine there. I just have to get good hits off on the Alomomola, and it has to basically be, he has to kind of not, I guess, play well around the taunt on my Greninja. So he's going to be able to go into his Mamoswine here. I don't know what's taking him so long to make a decision. It's a Mamoswine. He has to go in it. Maybe thinking maybe he's Yachi Berry, but if he goes for Icicle Crash, I still die. If he goes for Ice Shard, I live. But I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw here, hoping he doesn't go for the Ice Shard, thinking I'm Yachi. So, but he goes to the Ice Shard here. He knows, he sees I'm not Yachi, and we just drop. Really unfortunate, but damn. So that was a big play. If that was like, I guess maybe a 50-50, because if I was the, what is it called? I'm trying to think of the name, the Yachi Berry, then he would have lost right there. He would have had any way to come back. So I go into my Greninja here. I click low kick. It will Oko this thing 100%. It doesn't matter how much bulk you have. This thing is super strong. It's stab, 120 base power, and it's going to do tons of damage. But he goes into Aloe here, obviously. It's at 171 HP, getting back a third of its health from the regenerator, and we crit him there, and we take recoil damage from the Rocky Helmets. And that, guys, is going to be a big problem because we need to stay out of range of an Ice Shard. And a jolly non-boosting Ice Shard from a Mamoswine does, I think, 29 points of health max. An adamant one does, I think, 33 or something. I go for the Toxic Spikes here because I didn't want to take the recoil. I also felt like it was either that or the taunt. I needed to make sure that just in case he was sash or something. But really, really, really stupid there, because if I had gone for the low kick, if I had gone for the taunt there, like, if I had gone for the taunt there, this game's over, 100%. Because there's just nothing he could do, because I could low kick the Mamoswine to bring it down to its sash if it was sashed, If not, I Oko it, or if he's Trouble Berry, I bring it down to a point where a Cell Rock from Lycanroc can pick it off. But now I'm basically stuck because I have to go for a U-turn here, hope that I get the damage I need to get off. And he's at 62 HP, so I'm thinking I can definitely do 62 points of health with a U-turn here. I know I can do it. And we're going to be, looks like we're going to be out of range of the Mamoswine, so I'm in a good spot here. I can definitely get this done. I click the U-turn here, and I'm really disappointed because if I clicked the taunt there, we would have won the game. There's nothing you could have done against, we would have been 100% out of range of any form of Mamoswine's, we would have been out of range 100, we would have been out of range 100% of any Mamoswine's Ice Shard, and we could have won the game. But I go into Ghost here, hoping he clicks Protect or something, hoping he clicks Protect or whatever, but I have no choice, and he goes for the Scald here, and he burns us. And that burn is huge, because now we cannot break this thing. Had we not been burnt, I think we had a chance, because we would have done enough damage to this thing, really scared out the Mamoswine, could have gone for the Stone Edge here, forced to go for Ice Shard or whatever it is. But yeah, very, very unfortunate here. I go for the Stone Edge. We have to land. We don't even KO unless we crit him. I don't think we will crit, and we will take recoil damage, I'm pretty sure, from the Rocky Helmet. And we also take Life Orb shit as well. So basically, we're taking 3 forms of damage this turn, which is really unfortunate. At this point, the game's pretty much over. We do have a shot, though. It looks like he might be a non-boosting form of, what's it called? Maybe a non-boosting form of Mamoswine. So because we get the KO here with our Salazzle's Toxic on the Alomomola, it's 1v1. It's Greninja versus Mamoswine. And like I said, we KO with Low Kick 100% of the time. Now, he gets poisoned here, and an Ice Shard from this thing will do 29 points of health to me if if he's non-boosting Jolly. I'm at 31 HP. So I'm like, okay, I lost this game. It's a 1-0 loss again, our third 1-0 in a row. But then I calc, I'm like, oh my god, no, I win this game. I don't think he's boosting him. I don't think he's Ice Cold Play. I don't think he's whatever it is. He might be adamant, but I think even then it's like there's like 3 rolls for him to KO if he's adamant. So we can definitely do this. We can do this. We're gonna win this game. And yeah, but we're gonna DC here. I'll spoil it, but we DC here. So this game ends in a 1-1 draw. But in reality, the winner of this game is Root. He wins this game. Why? Because he was adamant Ice Cold Plate Mamoswine as, whoops, sorry about that. He was adamant Ice Cold Plate Mamoswine, and that, the minimum roll to KO me, the minimum damage it does to me is 31 HP, and we were at 31 HP. So we lost that game 100% as long as we went for Ice Shard. So damn, like he was kind of freaking out, like, no, he's not in range. He can't, like, he'll live the hits. He was kind of saying that, like, I'm gonna lose this game, but no, he wins this game. We lose 1-0. Very unfortunate. I definitely think my prep was really not great this week. I brought a lot of, I guess, not standard things, and it cost me. Greninja didn't pick up a single KO. I don't think it did, at least. And it's my biggest offensive threat. I don't know why I wouldn't bring more attacking moves on it. I don't know why I wouldn't bring Dark Pulse. Like, Toxic Spikes is nice, yeah, but if I had Dark Pulse over Toxic Spikes, if I had Sludge Wave over Protect, if I had Sub over Poison Jab, I would have been golden. But I didn't, and it cost me. But Root played extremely well. He played really well around the Salazzle, and he deserved to win this game. The Ice Cold Plate, Adamant Ice Shard, Mamoswine really put in work. Mamoswine was just the biggest threat to my team. I knew it going into it. It was going to be a monster, and it showed it. It really was an absolute monster. I think I picked up 3 kills this game on the Salamence, the Sylveon, and the Greninja. Did it pick up kills on my... No, yeah, I picked up kills on just those ones, I think. Pretty sure. Salamence, yeah, just those ones. So, very, very unfortunate. I'm disappointed because I definitely thought we had a really good shot to win this game. We had a really good shot to basically, at that point, clinch at least a 500 record. Now we're only 2 wins over 500, and we need to make sure that we can hopefully just keep climbing up the standings, because I don't want to have to play against Kelly in the first round. I don't want to have to play against Root in the first round. I want to stay up as high as possible so we can play someone who didn't have a great season early on in the season, or early on in the playoffs. I want to play someone who didn't have a good season, rather, or a great season. But we ended up losing this game. Really disappointed, and I'm sorry for such a long video. I really hope you guys sped it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, rather, make sure to leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We passed over 620 subscribers, rather, and I want to see if we can keep this going, guys. I want to see maybe we can get to 750 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.